All right. Okay, everyone, switch on your videos. Let's start today's class. So I think we had completed the whole entire brain, right? We completed what are the parts of brain and how the brain functions and everything, right? I told you about the midbrain and the hindbrain, right? So now we'll talk about the endocrine glands of our body. Okay, yes, everyone, switch on your videos quickly. All right. So, can everyone hear me? Is my voice audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, then everyone switch on your videos. Quickly. Do it quickly so that I can start the class. Also, students, have you started to study the chapters for your exams? Okay, because you should be studying everything. You should be learning everything. All right, so today we're going to talk about the different kinds of glands that are there in our body and how they function and how they are important. Now, for those students that were noting down the notes that are doing this chapter for the first time with me, what is the last thing that you people wrote down in your notebooks? Ibad, I think you were there, right? All right, now talking about the types of the glands that are present in us. So, see, there are two types of glands in general. One is exocrine gland and the other is endocrine glands. Now, see, they differ from each other depending upon what kind of secretions or discharge that they have. So one of them is a gland that is provided with ducts. Ducts means pipeline. And the other kind is not provided with any duct, meaning any blood vessel or any vessel. Now, exocrine glands are those glands that have the ducts present and they discharge their secretions with the help of ducts. Meaning, whatever is the secretion that they have to release, they do it with the help of ducts that are connected with them. So, whatever is the secretion, it goes through the ducts. Talking about the endocrine glands. So, the endocrine glands are those glands that do not have the ducts at all. They do not have the ducts present in them. So whatever is their secretion, mostly the secretion of endocrine glands is hormone. So they secrete the hormones right into the bloodstream. Meaning, right into the blood, the hormone gets secreted because they do not have the ducts present. Now, the secretion of the endocrine gland is called as hormones. And these hormones, when you talk about them, they are non-nutrient chemicals that are secreted in our body. Non-nutrient means they do not have any role to play in terms of nutrition. They are not important in terms of nutrition. Rather, they are important for the functions that they are supposed to perform. So that is like hormones are the secretions from the endocrine glands. Now the endocrine glands, as I told you, they are ductless glands. Now these are the examples, the list of the endocrine glands. We have pituitary gland, thyroid gland, pineal gland, then there is thymus, there is adrenal gland and testes and ovaries, which are together known as gonads. So we are going to discuss the function of each of these endocrine glands, what is their secretion, how do they act, and everything related to that. The first the first endocrine gland that we are going to discuss is pituitary gland. See, pituitary gland, it is the gland that is located at the base of the brain. It is located towards the base of the brain and it is a pea-sized gland. The size is like the pea grain. Now, this gland is known as the master gland. It is the master of all the glands. Why? Because all of the glands are under the control of pituitary gland, meaning it will control the secretion of every single other gland. in our body. So pituitary gland, they are known as the master glands. Now, one of the most important hormone that is released by the pituitary gland is the growth hormone. Now, the growth hormone is responsible for our growth, just like the name suggests. So, this is secreted by the pituitary gland. It is one of the most important hormones that are secreted. See, the pituitary gland also secretes many other hormones as well, but out of them, growth hormone is what is given in your syllabus, and it is one of the most important. Now, remember one thing, like I told you in the previous classes also, that when anything is secreted in our body, whether it is secreted in a very great amount or a very less amount, both of these cases can be harmful to human beings. If any hormone is secreted much more than it is required, we call it as over secretion. We don't need it that much and it is being secreted. So if anything is over secreted, then that will also lead to causing of so many kinds of diseases. Then comes under secretion of growth hormone. Under secretion means here the growth hormone will not be secreted in the enough amount. Like whatever is required, it will not be secreted in that amount. So that is what we call as under secretion. So there are two cases. So the first case is of the under secretion of growth hormone. So this will lead to causing the disease called as dwarfism. The person who does not have growth hormone will not have a proper growth. The person will not grow. So the person will be very less in height and that person will be called as a dwarf. So dwarfism is that case, that disease which is caused by the under secretion of growth hormone. Now there comes over secretion of growth hormone. When the growth hormone is secreted in much more amount than it is required by us. Now when that is done in the case of children, when the growth hormone is secreted in much more amount in the case of children, it will it would lead to causing a disease called as gigantism. The person that has this over secreted growth hormone right from the childhood will be really tall, very exceptionally tall, something that is not ordinary. Then comes if this growth hormone is over secreted in the adulthood, then that would lead to the disease called as acromegaly, wherein the person might have like bigger hands, bigger feet, but not the whole body. So some body parts will grow a lot. So that is what happened when over secretion of growth hormone, meaning excessive secretion of growth hormone takes place. So pituitary gland and its secretions are clear to every single person. Any doubts? What about the rest of the students? First of all, you people need to switch on your videos throughout the class. Once I say it, then I've said it. Switch on your videos, everyone. No one will switch it back off until I ask you to do so.
Actually my area like net is coming out and going. So can I turn off for just?
Ma'am, I
You people having internet issues?
yes,
Ma'am, just for today only.
Okay, if you have internet issues, then you tell your teacher, no, that ma'am, I won't be able to switch off. Sorry, switch on my video because my internet is not proper. Then I'll understand. But even though you can't switch on your videos, at least say yes or no in the class so that I'll know that you're here, okay? Respond in the class. Okay?
okay,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay, good. Ayan, is your internet also not well? Switch on your video. Everyone has their videos on. Okay, good. Now, the next gland that we are going to discuss is thyroid gland. See, thyroid gland is present in the throat area, and this is a gland that has a butterfly shape. Like it has a butterfly shape. Now, the hormone which is secreted by the thyroid gland is called as thyroxine. The hormone is known as thyroxine. Now, this hormone is very important because it regulates the metabolism of our body, meaning all of the chemical reactions that take place in our body, they are actually regulated by the thyroxine gland, and it is one of the most important hormone that is secreted. So now remember one thing, that for the proper formation of the thyroxine hormone, or you can say the synthesis of thyroxine hormone in our body, iodine is very important. And iodine comes from the salt that we have in our food. So this iodine is responsible for the proper development and release of thyroxine gland, the hormone. Now, just in case a person does not have proper iodine in his food, meaning iodine deficiency. So, in the case of iodine deficiency, what would happen? That the person will have under secretion of thyroxine, because if iodine will not be there, then how will the thyroxine hormone be synthesized? And then that leads to a disease called as goiter, wherein the whole entire neck area swells up a lot. So that is what we call as the disease goiter. Now then comes the third.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, sometimes when people they say that they have thyroid problems, like what do you mean? Like when they say I have thyroid?
See, yeah, there, like, if a person has thyroid problems, so that depends on two things. Whether they are, like, see, if anyone has any thyroid related problems, so they are talking about the release of thyroxine in their body. Now, whenever they do not have enough release of thyroxine in their body, it is known as hypothyroidism, meaning they have less thyroxine being secreted in our body, in their body. And if they have more thyroxine, much more than required, so they have hyperthyroidism, which is excessive secretion of thyroxine hormone. So in the first case, wherein thyroxine is secreted less, the person becomes very thin. No, actually in the second case, because thyroxine is regulating the metabolism, right? So when excessive of thyroxine is happening, releasing, so a lot of metabolism is taking place and the person becomes very, very thin. And the first case wherein the thyroxine is not adequate, then the person becomes fat, because metabolism does not take place well in their body. So if a person has thyroid problems, so it can be two things, whether excessive or less. Okay. Now, moving forward, talking about the pancreas. See, pancreas, you can't call them as endocrine gland. They are not purely endocrine. And they are not purely exocrine also. They are both. They are not just one, they are both. So what happens is that it is a leaf-like gland. And where else have you heard about pancreas? Have you heard about it before? None of you have heard about pancreas. Do you have pancreas in your body?
Yes.
Yes, you do. So you might have heard about them in terms of digestion, right? When digestion is done, pancreas releases certain digestive enzymes. And apart from that, the pancreas also releases certain hormones. So it is an endocrine gland as well as an exocrine gland. It functions and behaves like both. So you can't call them one, so you'll call it as a mixed gland. It has both of the properties. Now, talking about the pancreas as an endocrine gland, because that is what our chapter requires. So, it synthesizes and secretes two hormones. It secretes insulin and glucagon. Now, remember that pancreas, they have two kinds of cells. They have alpha cells and beta cells. Now, the alpha cells, they release and secrete the insulin hormone. You might have heard about insulin. And then beta cells that secrete glucagon hormone. So, these two hormones are extremely, extremely important in our body for the regulation of glucose in our body, blood glucose level or blood sugar level. Now, insulin, it has a function to decrease the level of sugar in our body. And glucagon increases the level of sugar in the body. So all in all, you can say that both of these hormones, they are regulating the sugar level in our body, isn't it? One is increasing and one is decreasing. Now, both insulin and glucagon, they regulate sugar level in the blood. Insulin lowers the blood sugar level and glucagon increases the blood sugar level. So these hormones, they are like working against each other, isn't it? One is increasing, one is decreasing. So we say that they are antagonistic to each other. Antagonistic means they're against each other. They're working against each other. Now, when we talk about the exocrine function of the pancreas, so as an exocrine gland, it has enzymes that helps in the digestion of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates that are present in our food. Now, whenever the you can say insulin is not secreted in a sufficient amount, or whenever there is an under secretion of insulin from the pancreas, so that leads to a disease called as diabetes, which is very scientifically known as diabetes mellitus. In those people, their blood sugar levels are really high, which is very detrimental to the human being. So that is what they do. Is it clear to every single person in the class?
Yes.
Yes.
Any doubts?
No.
Okay, very good. Moving on to the next gland, that is adrenal glands. Now, adrenal glands, these are the glands that are present on top of the kidney. If you might have seen the picture of a digestive system, you might have seen that the kidneys, they have a crown-like structure on top of them. And that crown-like structure is what we call as the adrenal gland. Now, this adrenal gland, they occur in pair, meaning there are two of them. And it decreases in size as the person ages, meaning as slowly the person increases in age, so does the adrenal gland decreases in size. Now, the hormone which is secreted by the adrenal gland is adrenaline. Adrenaline, all of you might have heard about adrenaline rush. Have you heard about that?
Yes.
So adrenaline rush is that thing that occurs because of adrenaline hormone, which is secreted by the adrenal gland. Now, these hormones, they help in the flight and fight response, meaning like how whenever we see something we are scared of, we instantly run as fast as we can, right? Then no one can stop us. So that is what adrenal makes you do. It makes your body ready to be alert, ready to be fighting or flight. Flight means running away or escaping the situation. So this hormone helps us do that. And apart from that, you might have also seen whenever you get scared or whenever someone shocks you. So at that point of time, your heartbeat increases. You start sweating, isn't it? So during that time, what happens? The adrenal gland, it acts on the heart and it like increases the heartbeat. It also increases the oxygen supply to the muscles, meaning the more oxygen that will be supplied to the muscles, the better the muscles will perform. So that is what the function of adrenaline gland is, right? So like for example, if like you are normally doing your work, and if some like very big or creepy insect comes along and sits on your hand, what is your immediate instinct? You'll start brushing your hand like this, right? You start to throw it, like somehow get rid of that insect from your body, isn't it? So in that, you might have seen that you get super normal power, super normal instincts that you have. Or for example, okay, tell me what you people are scared of. Like, what is that one phobia all of you have? One by one, tell me. Do you people have phobias, or you people are like fearless? How
Deep
many of you?
waters.
Deep
Deep
waters.
water.
Okay, yeah, that's my phobia too. Anyone else? Tell me your phobias. Let me see what you are scared of. Tell me one by one. Faizan, tell me.
I'm scared of my dad.
You're scared of your dad. Oh God. But that's not phobia. I mean, you don't start shivering and running away
Ma'am,
if he comes
same
along.
phobia, ma'am. Same phobia, just like Faizan.
Ibad, you are also scared of your dad. That's your phobia.
Yes, ma'am.
You people
Same.
are very unique. Okay, Galvin, you tell me yours.
I'm scared of spiders.
Spiders, arachnophobia. Okay. And then Ayan, you tell me yours.
I don't know much.
You don't know what you're scared of. Are you scared of height?
No.
No. So maybe it's possible that someone has no phobia. You never know. Aisha, what about you? Any phobias?
I don't know, ma'am.
You also don't know. Okay. Anyway, the reason why I'm asking is that, for example, if if just like how someone has arachnophobia, right? The fears of spiders. So if a spider comes along, what will you do? You'll start running away. Yeah, you'll start do anything to save your life. And that power that you have during that time, that great energy that you get to run away, that comes from adrenaline hormone. So imagine how important this hormone is, right? And that is what happens. Now you might have seen, if you have your grandparents or if you have anyone elderly in your homes, you might have seen they don't get scared easily. They're like very calm people, like they don't scared at all, like that. It's not possible to scare them. So why? Because they don't have this hormone enough like how we have, right? Because with age, the size of the adrenal gland decreases in size, right? It gets smaller and smaller, so the secretion of adrenaline also gets smaller, right? So if the older person, the person that has like it's higher in age, so that person will not be also able to run faster. They can't, because they don't have adrenaline gland, and apart from that their muscles are also not that strong. So you people understand the importance and the significance of adrenaline?
Yes.
Okay. For those of you that have your like a fear of your father, you can't consider it as a phobia. It's not a phobia. You won't start shivering when your father comes along. I mean, you're scared of him. You respect him enough to be scared of him. That's okay, but that's not a phobia. No one can have phobia from their parents. All right, now moving forward, talking about the next, that is gonads. Now, gonads are those structures in the body of the male and the female that are responsible for the production of gametes for reproduction. So, testes in the case of males and ovaries in the case of females, they are responsible for the production of gametes. So, testes, they make the sperm, which is the male gamete, and the ovaries, they make the ova or the egg, that is the female gamete. But these gonads, these structures, apart from producing the gametes, they also produce hormones. The testes, they produce the testosterone hormone, and the ovaries, they produce the female hormones called as the estrogen and progesterone. Now, these hormones, they help in the, you can say, formation of gametes also. And when we talk about the male reproductive hormone, so that helps the male characters to be seen in a male. Like how? Like when you people will start, growing more, you will have mustaches, you'll start having beard, right? You'll grow in height, you'll start having muscles. Right now you don't, because you people are not that big, right? You are babies, are you? And then when you'll slowly start growing up, and then you'll start having beard and mustache, and your voice would become really harsh and hard voice, right? And as far as the female goes, the female hormones that are secreted in them, that helps them to grow in a female like manner, like how they start having their menstrual cycle, then they start having different structures in the body, right? All of these, the appearance of hair on the body is also a function of these hormones. So the male characteristics that the males have, that is also because of the hormone secreted by the testes. And for the females also, the hormones are secreted by the ovaries. So they are extremely important. Then comes progesterone. Now, progesterone is the hormone that is secreted only in the case of females, and it is a pregnancy hormone, because the males, they do not carry the baby, the females do, so they have this pregnancy hormone called as progesterone. Any doubts up until now, students? Okay, good. Now, Ibad and Faizan, you people tell me, what is the last thing that you people have written down in your notebooks? Hmm?
One.
Check and tell me.
Now about the midbrain forms the connect the forebrain and stuff.
Okay, the midbrain part. All right, so you have to note down from there. Okay, so quickly note this down, and then I'll let you note down the hormone parts. The rest of the students, you also can switch off your videos until they are writing. And Ibad, do tell me when you're done so that I can scroll, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm done writing this. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Done. Ma'am, done. Yes, ma'am.